Hi everyone and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be taking a travel back into the year 2012 and reading like it's 2012. So I used to watch a lot of Sophia Nygaard series where she dressed like years gone past. So she'd do like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and she'd pick like random years and dress like those years. Now I had to put a little spin on it, and I thought how cool would it be to add a bookish spin on it and read like years gone by. So I thought as my first year I would start off with 2012, which is 10 years ago. Also 2012 is the year that I actually think I properly started reading, or at least reading was on my radar. It was also my peak teen years. So I was 14, 10 and 15. My birthday's at the end of November, so I was just basically 14. Insert cringe pictures here. Yeah, that's great. So I was in year 9 at school, so that's the year before we start taking exams, like actual exams that count. So I remember this just being like, have fun. I remember the summer was very much have fun energy before your exams. Should I have been revising? Yes. Did I revise? No. So that was me in 2012. Now when it comes to world events, I remember the Queen's Jubilee, which is happening again this year, the Olympics as well was in the UK. So when it comes to reading, what was going on? Okay, so two of these books I've already read before. So The Fault in Our Stars, I had a look on BookTube at this time, and The Fault in Our Stars was a big one. John Green really dominated that era of reading for young people. I remember being addicted to John Green books. I think I've read them all, apart from Turtles All the Way Down. And The Fault in Our Stars is a favourite of mine. This is actually my copy from back in 2014. So I, like a lot of people, would have read this in 2014 when the book came out, when the movie came out, sorry. But a lot of people on BookTube and a lot of readers were actually reading this in 2012. So this one is a personal favourite of mine. I've read it before, given it 5 stars. I think I read it a couple of times and given it 5 stars. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Then I've got The Hunger Games. So this is actually my old one from 2012. Look at how yellow those pages are. This has been actually all over the world with me. I remember taking this on holiday to India, which was quite cute. This was actually a movie in 2012, March 23rd. So I think I got it just before then, and started reading it. Maybe early 2012. Or even 2011, I remember everyone was talking about this and how it was going to be a movie, and I got it. I literally remember a conversation that I had with friends, and they're like, she names her characters weird. He's Peter, but it's spelled like Peter is in the bread. I was like, okay, I need to read more of this, evidently. And then a book that I haven't read before is Gone Girl, by Gillian Flynn. I remember the movie being big, but this book came out in 2012, and from what I saw on Goodreads, it was the book back then. I remember it being a big book, but I also remember it being a big movie. I just never saw the movie, so maybe I will watch the movie after I finish this book. So what am I going to read first, I hear you ask? I'm actually going to go for The Fault in Our Stars. I was gonna go for Gone Girl because it's something that I've never read before, but I love this book so much. Like I said before, I've given it 5 stars, but also it just makes me feel like warm, and it's so nostalgic for me. But I also just like love the book, I can literally tell you page by page this book, and I can tell you frame by frame the movie. I remember in like 2014 when the movie came out, I actually went to Amsterdam, I think it was in 2014 or 2015, and I lived The Fault in Our Stars life. So this is the first book that I'll be picking up. Hi everyone, it has been a while. So I originally started this in May, it is July now. So I started reading The Fault in Our Stars. I didn't actually mean for it to be so therapeutic. So for me, 2012 was when I was 14, I'm 24 now. So starting this brought back so many like thoughts, feelings, emotions of the time that in the last like 2 months, 1 month, or however long it's been since I started this, I've literally revisited the entire decade, and yeah, it's been a lot. I feel like I've been in like kind of like a stuck place recently, like over these 2 years with the whole pandemic and then the whole transition out of the pandemic into somewhat of a normal life post-pandemic. And I didn't realize I was still stuck until I read this, and it just like got rid of so many mental blockers revisiting this last decade. Needless to say, I've now finished this. I gave it a 5 stars. I didn't mean for it to be so cathartic, but it was an amazing thing to do, this whole like experiment of revisiting the last 10 years, because first of all, I picked up this book again. It's my 3rd time reading The Fault in Our Stars, and I've always given it a 5 stars. It is an amazing book, beautiful plot, amazing, like, I just don't know, like, characters and thoughts and feelings of these people is amazing. I love this so much. But it was good because I got to, like, revisit these last 10 years, which is quite cute and nice, also very therapeutic, which is amazing. So that was a 5 stars. And my next one is The Hunger Games. So this one, you can see, is quite old. I remember having this for a while. It's got yellow page edges. This has been with me through thick and thin. I remember taking this to India on a trip and reading it there. So international, first of all, and second of all, it is such a good read. I recently watched some of the movies on Netflix as well. When I say recently, I mean January, 6 months ago. But no, it is a great read. I've started a little bit of it, but it's only like chapter 1 or 2, which is quite good. 2 chapters in, I have to say, Suzanne Collins, what an inspiration. But I remember being in English and we were talking about this poet, and I was like, I'm going to compare it to another author, Miss Suzanne Collins. Wow, what an author. The seeds that she plants, even from the first chapter. There's a part in the first chapter where Katniss is on about the odds of the names getting called out. She says her sister, Prim, is only in there once, so the odds of her name getting called out is pretty low. But obviously, we know that it actually does get called out, which made me think about this whole may the odds ever be in your favour thing. And in this book, and kind of maybe in life, the odds are never really in your favour. They kind of just are what they are. They're odds, and more than likely you are going to get screwed up in this book or in life. So that was quite interesting to see how she planted that seed even in the first chapter for the whole trilogy. Is amazing. So I love this, and that's one thing I'm looking forward to rereading this, is kind of being able to pick out those little things that she plants along the way. So I'm super excited about that. Hi everyone, just a quick check-in. I have finished The Hunger Games. 5 out of 5 stars. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I feel like I've been in a place recently with series where I'm like, I have no want or need to read any more of the books, and these are like new series. This is a book that I've read multiple times before, and a series that I've already read and watched a film of and everything like that, and I'm intrigued and wanting to read the second book, and these new series aren't hitting the same. So I mean, something has to be said about that in 2012's impact. Because this is an amazing book, and like I just have that want and desire to read it on, which is superb. So I've moved on to I always want to call it Gossip Girl, it's Gone Girl, and I will say when I started reading it, I was very much like, okay, we're reading an adult book now. This felt very different to the YA books that I read. It's like one of the adult books, I always call them like Connecticut adult books, because I could feel like regardless of where they actually are and where the book's based, they could be in Connecticut. I don't know why. It just gives me that kind of backdrop. There's something going on. It feels eerie. At the same time, it feels like there's little things being dropped. So when I'm reading it, I'm trying to be vigilant of like, okay, was that a clue? Was that a message? But I'm enjoying it so far. And I've got a pretty chill weekend planned. I mean, it's 10 o'clock and I've still got natural sunlight, which for Yorkshire is a massive thing. So it's definitely summer. I have no plans for the weekend. I'm just gonna read and enjoy the sun. So winner over here, 5 out of 5 stars. The Fault in Our Stars got 5 out of 5 stars. So if Gone Girl gets 5 out of 5 stars, I can only give 2012 an A+. There's nowhere else I can go. Hi everyone, so this is a late night check-in, but today I read lot of Gone Girl. I'm currently on chapter 35 of like 60 something. I, for a second, was like, this is boring, I'm not enjoying it, this is not me. Because I feel like sometimes with mystery books like that, it can feel like they're trying to fill air in setting a scene, but I think now, having moved on to a little bit more climactic part of the book, I do think that was needed because it drops hints about the relationships between all the different characters. But this is spicy, it's juicy, it's twisty and turny. I always like think about a rating that I'm gonna give it, any book that I read, and I'm somewhere between a 4 and a 5 star on this particular book. Part of me thinks I am being a little bit harsh. I think with mystery books it's easy to be harsh as well because you're critiquing like the plot line and how much it gets you, but yeah, I've been like wrestling with it in my head. I feel like I'm being mean and not giving it 5 stars just because I don't want to give it 5 stars, but let's just say this: so far 2012 is a great year for reading based off these 3 books, and it might get a 5 out of 5 stars as a year of books. But yeah, I'm really loving Gone Girl, and I think I might finish it tomorrow, so let's hope for the best. Hi everyone, so I have finally finished Gossip Girl. I need to stop calling it that, I swear to God. So I finally finished Gone Girl, and I ended up giving it a 4 stars. So my whole thing with reading this is I was kind of like, this is just a little bit of waffle at the beginning, then in the middle it got really juicy for me and I loved it. And then somewhere towards the end, I was just not feeling it. It kind of lost a little bit of its pace for me. And I think that wow factor in its like twists and turns. And it kind of felt a little bit rushed in a way, like the ending. And then the last bit, I didn't love, because all the way through the book I was like, okay, this ending needs to be good, this ending needs to be good. And the ending wasn't that great. It was actually quite anticlimactic. So yeah, this is why I gave this a 4 stars. It felt like as well it was leading to maybe a sequel, so I don't know if they have a sequel, but if not, it just feels like this ending is something maybe the author would have wanted, or is meant to be something that's like metaphorical or whatever, but it wasn't the climax that I wanted. So I finished my 3 2012 books. I started off with The Fault in Our Stars. I gave 5 stars. I gave Hunger Games 5 stars as well, and then I gave 4 stars to this. So if we average it out, that's 4.6 stars. I'm going to bring that to 4.5, so 4.5 stars for 2012, which isn't bad at all. So I hope you enjoyed this, everyone. It was actually quite a good experience. It was definitely more of a journey than I thought it was going to be, but that was a great journey. So I really enjoyed all of these books, and I really would love to do this again. So if there's any years that you guys want me to read, let me know. I would throw it all the way back to like maybe a 1772, you know what I mean? I could throw it that far back, or I could do the future. If any of these famous authors want to send me their books that are coming out in arcs, I could do that as well, you know. Hit me up. I could even do 2012 again. I do want to read Perks of Being a Wallflower, but I think with this one, because 2 of them are rereads, and rereads that I give 5 stars to, I think sometimes when you reread a book, it's almost like hard to not give it the original rating when it's a 5 stars, and then you've also got nostalgia going in there as well. You're a little bit biased as well, so I think I would do it again with different books that I've never read before, and maybe I don't even know about. That would be very interesting. But I definitely want to do Perks of Being a Wallflower because I didn't even watch the movie when it was popular, so I think that would be cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did, and as always, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. But for now, bye.